Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Yes, it is another episode of Richie and Rob for betPARX, along with my man, Jon Ritchie. John, good to see you as always, my friend. I'm Rob Ellis. How are you, bud?
Super, Bert. We're 4-0, man.
Come on. Well, good. I'm
We
glad
are
you said
4-0, and
Yes.
we are a really good team. We're just not quite as good as I hoped we'd be, I think.
Okay, so I'm glad you perfect setup, even though we didn't plan this. As somebody who played the game, because there's been the tug of war this week or the last couple of days with people saying, okay, never easy to win in the NFL. Certainly never easy to get to 4-0. However, there's some good fortune along the way. It hasn't been as pretty as I maybe anticipated. How's it going to look when you play the big boys later in the schedule? Where do you fall on that spectrum, John, where, there are some people that are really concerned, others that are saying, relax, man. It's only September now into October.
I'm not really concerned, but I am curious as to why this team is not quite where I thought they'd be. I know that this is a coaching staff that prides themselves on teaching, and they continue to try to develop the players and their system and their plans, and that's the way they go about business. They expect. We were just talking to Nick Sirianni this morning. He told us they expect to continue to learn and develop and grow, whether it's the month of September and they didn't practice much in training camp, or whether it's the month of December and they are, getting ready for a playoff push then, in 10 days. It's always a consistent message and it's a consistent approach. But the fact remains, there are times where it feels like an excuse. Hey, we're still developing because we didn't work too much during training camp. And it bothers me.
Right.
Yeah, we have not been as consistent as I want. Yet I expect that we will eventually be as consistent as I want, because this roster is just dynamite. And this is a group of coaches who will continue to battle and work and teach until they get it right.
Let me ask you on the offensive side, and the passing game certainly returned against Washington in the overtime win, but that's been a little spotty. There have been some interesting play calls along the way that we've seen. Has that sort of disappointed / surprised you more? Like, I look at the defensive side and I say, they are a little short on the back end, man. Like, it's not going to be as smooth as it was last year. This is kind of what it is, at least right now. But how do you view the offensive side?
Well, all offseason we were saying, hey, the defense might have problems this upcoming season, but at least we know the offense is going to be great.
Right.
They got everyone coming back. I'm thinking they got an upgrade at right guard. Now we've got an injury at right guard, and hopefully a fill-in with Sua Opeta that's short-lived.
Yep.
But no, I expect that this team is I expect that. Geez, I completely lost my train of thought there, Bert. What am I?
That's all right. In terms of the offense, because we had an expectation that it would be one thing, and thus far it's been clear they can run the ball when they really want to.
Yeah.
But the passing game's maybe an up and down, and the play calling maybe hasn't been great at times.
I didn't like running the ball on 3rd and 11.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was out of the realm of what is normal. Coach Sirianni said that gave him the best chance for a first down. I disagree with him. He told us that was his overrule. He overruled Brian Johnson and said, I want to run it there at 3rd and 11. I think that is really bizarre.
Yeah.
And there have been quite a few bizarre decisions at times. I think it's bizarre how simplified things have been. I thought there was a little more wrinklage with Shane Steichen calling things, and when he was the offensive coordinator, I know that Nick was still designing the plays and installing the plays and planning the plays, but it feels like things have been a little flat this year, and I'm going to chalk that up to this is a new unit. play caller and quarterback.
Yep.
I know they're really close in life outside of football, but it doesn't look like they are as close as quarterback and play caller right now. They needed the month of September to work through some things,
Yeah.
and hopefully that all those things are behind them, because
Yeah.
I don't want the excuse any longer. Hey, we didn't go hard in training camp, so
Right.
we need the month of September to get right. We're through that.
Yeah.
We need to see the full power Eagles team at this point.
Just to be clear, people, wrinklage in football, good. In life, not so much. You don't want wrinklage. John, last one, just to circle it back to the defense real quick. Like I said, I mean, I understand that a little bit more, some of the inconsistency, some of the breakdowns that you maybe see with guys, running wide open or whatever. It just feels like if you're not getting a crazy good pass rush, there's going to be some issues on the back end. Is that, I don't want to say acceptable, but is that kind of your mindset too? Or do you view that as, no, none of that should be happening either?
No, I don't. Look, I don't think giving up 31 points to Sam Howell is acceptable under any circumstance. I did not expect that after watching what the Buffalo Bills did to him the week before. The guy threw 4 interceptions, was sacked 9 times,
Right.
and he looked like a world beater against us. That's not good enough. And this team, yes, I know we've been banged up, and right now at one of our cornerback spots and one of our safety spots, it's not exactly situated the way we want it, but it's got to be better. Reed Blankenship is supposed to be the safety that they knew was going to be the guy, this offseason. He was the stalwart back there, and he was getting beaten in the passing game. He was out of position. He was looking a step behind in the passing game. That's not good enough. He needs to be better. And Darius Slay, for whatever reason, it looked like the worst game I've ever seen him play on Sunday. He was off and soft the entire game, and they were taking advantage of him, which is really surprising.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, John and I do this each and every week. We look back at the game that went down. Of course, the Eagles win in overtime over Washington. They now move to 4-0. Then we look ahead as well, and you will get that also. John, looking forward to it, my friend. Good seeing you as always. My guy, Jon Ritchie. I am Rob Ellis. We are Ritchie and Rob for betPARX.